Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a countdown list of my top 6 games released in 2014. Now I did a 2013 games list about a year ago, but I don't think I executed that one very well, so this one's going to be much more enjoyable to watch. So without further ado, let's get this countdown list started. Okay, starting my list off with number 6 is Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. Now this game was released pretty early on in the year, and it's a pretty interesting take on, for a Dragon Ball Z game. It does sort of feel like they've tried to do something a little bit fresh and original with this game, and in some instances it does work and it feels like a step forward. But there are a lot of technical problems and some other features that make it sort of a huge step backwards for the Dragon Ball Z games, and I'll explain why. To start the game off with, it's fully co-op, this game, meaning there are no one-on-one battles anymore. There's none of that in the game. You're either in a battle of 2-on-2 or even 3-on-3, which sounds good on paper, and I believe it's the first Dragon Ball Z game that actually has 6 playable characters on the screen at the same time, and it does look pretty impressive, and the game holds up pretty well with having that amount of characters on the screen, with the frame rate not dropping or with any slowdown. However, the combat for the game is pretty flawed. When you're trying to lock onto some characters, when you've got so many on the battle map at the same time, it can be a bit of a problem. You can be trying to lock onto one fighter you're trying to attack, whereas your character you're controlling may be trying to attack another character on the map, so it can be a little bit frustrating. Now, there is a sort of minimal sort of story mode on the game, which is basically just the Dragon Ball Z sagas that you've seen in the anime. However, it is very loosely based on the show. It sort of doesn't completely follow it accurately because, as I said earlier, it's all co-op, this game. So, for instance, where like the Frieza saga, you'd be fighting you'd be controlling Goku and you'd be fighting Frieza. As it's co-op, you'd probably have like Gohan and Krillin fighting him at the same time, which is a little bit weird, and the co-op sort of does make it quite weird. So yeah, the graphics for the game are pretty nice. The character models look really good, and the backgrounds are really nicely done actually. They've sort of gone for a more gritty, realistic look for the backgrounds as opposed to more anime looking. So yeah, the best feature I'd say by far this game is the online mode. I had a lot of fun with this one. It's fully co-op with any of your friends, whatever system you're playing it on, and then you can battle it out with other players across the internet. And it's got a full level up systems that you can use on your character, so you can equip it's got like the capsule features that you've seen in previous Dragon Ball Z games, and you can equip like power up boosts, defense, and sort of things like that. So yeah, as far as a Dragon Ball Z game, it's okay. It's by no means the best one out there. Doesn't even come close to Budokai 3. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what Dragon Ball Z Xenophase has in store for us next year. Moving straight to 5th place, I have Project Diva 2nd on the PlayStation 3. Now this game was released around March time in Japan and around November time for the European and American markets. So pretty much everyone knows who Hatsune Miku is. She's literally the most famous virtual singer of all time. And this is actually a music game which features some very well-known popular songs from both Hatsune Miku and the other Vocaloids. So basically the idea of the game is you press the buttons on the controller to match up with the icons that appear on the screen as you're playing through some of Miku or the other Vocaloids' character songs. Now that description might sound easy, but by no means is this an easy game. It is very challenging if you're trying to go for a high score, by all means. The only way I can compare the game, if you've never played this sort of game before, is think Guitar Hero, sort of with a mix of Parappa the Rapper. If you've never heard of a Parappa Rapper game, I would recommend checking out some videos for it on YouTube after you've watched this. But yeah, really enjoyable game, and I've heard that the DLC songs from the Asia side of the market will be coming to the PlayStation 3, so I really look forward to seeing when they come out on here. Storming into fourth place, I have Mario Kart 8. Now, I'm a big fan of the Mario Kart series. I've been playing them since Mario Kart 64 come out. And it may surprise you, but my actual favourite Mario Kart game is actually Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. I'm not sure why, but I just had so much fun on that game when it came out. It was just such a blast to play, and I really loved the idea of two racers on one car. I had a lot of fun playing that on co-op. But up to the latest installment, which is Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, which currently at the moment has 36 characters and 32 tracks before any more DLC comes out. So it's got a really impressive lineup of characters and tracks. It features some completely brand new tracks, such as Swamp Ruins, which is one of my favourites, to some of the classic levels that have appeared in previous Mario Kart titles. Now, this is the first Mario Kart game to be released on a system in HD, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. To the amazing attention to detail on the level backgrounds, to the character models themselves, it all looks really nice. I can tell you it's a very bright and colourful and crisp game. Now, you've obviously got a standard for Mario Kart, the modes on the game. You've got your 50cc, your 100cc, and your 150cc. Obviously, 50cc is sort of like the easy for beginners and sort of slow, up to 150cc, which is obviously a lot faster, and the computer characters are a lot more competitive. And then you've got mirror tracks. Now, you've also got an online mode, so you can obviously race other people around the planet. And you've got a sort of level up system on there, which I think you start on 1,000 points. I haven't played the online that much on it, and if you win races or come in the top four, your points go up. Or as if you sort of become last on the races, your points will go down. So it's pretty competitive if you want to play that to sort of make you look good on Mario Kart. So yeah, I'd really recommend this game on the Wii U. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's definitely one of the best Mario Karts in the series out there, I'd say by far. And the fact that you've got upcoming DLC out for the game. Now, I know you've got one set out already, which features Link as a playable character. Now, I haven't actually got that yet, but I do plan to do that very soon. And you've also got some more DLC coming out for it next year, so it's given you a lot of reasons to carry on playing it. And it's also now got amiibo support. So yeah, I could not recommend Mario Kart 8 enough if you own a Wii U. Okay, now starting out with my top three, starting with third being Super Smash Bros, which is another game on the Wii U. Now, this is another Nintendo series that I've been a fan of for well over a decade now. I've been playing them since Super Smash Bros. Melee come out on the Nintendo GameCube, and I've pretty much been playing every one that's come out since then. However, I have not played yet the 3DS version, which came out a couple of months ago. I do plan to pick that up at some point. But what I have here is the Wii U version, which come out early this month, December. So if you don't know what Super Smash Bros. Is, it's basically a fighting game featuring characters from many different Nintendo series. So obviously you've got characters like Mario, Luigi, you've also got like Zelda, Link and Metroid Prime Samus. And you've also got a couple other characters from some other franchises here, such as Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog, Capcom's Mega Man and Namco's Pac-Man. Now, this is by far the biggest Smash Bros. That's ever been released, with a staggering 50 playable characters, 52 if you include the Mii characters, and 46 playable stages. 26 of those stages are new, and 20 of them are reappearing ones from old Smash Bros. Game, obviously re-enhanced with high definition graphics. Now, I really love this type of fighting game. It's basically the type of game that literally anyone can play, whether you are a amateur, beginner, or even a highly advanced expert gamer, because there is yeah, I think there's so many different difficulty options you can set on the game. You can have it on its weakest, so you can basically, like, anyone, like a child, could play it. However, if you rank that difficulty up, the computer is literally merciless, and you will find yourself having a hell of a challenge. Now, there's an absolute ton of different modes to play on this game. For instance, you've obviously got the classic mode where you play through a certain amount of stages until you get to the master hand at the end. However, if you've got the difficulty high enough, you will fight a brand new sort of secret boss at the end. And there's like a load of other modes on the game, such as trophy hunts and just stuff like that. I mean, I could really sit and talk about this game for ages, but I don't want this video to drag on that much. If you obviously don't know this game, then go check out a review for it, because pretty much every review I've seen have been nigh on perfect scores. Now, this game was very close to being second on my list. Now, I'm going to tell you why I didn't put it second and put it third. There's one critical thing with this game that I was quite disappointed with, and that is its lack of a single player mode on the game. If you've played Brawl, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, that has I found really enjoyable single player story mode on the game. There is no single player story mode at all on this game. So yeah, I was quite disappointed with that, because I mean, even Smash Bros. Melee had a sort of single player story thing. It wasn't really a story, it was just sort of you progress through levels. But even something like that was missing from this game. Now, you've got Smash Tour, I think it's called, which is sort of a bit like a Mario Party thing, where you sort of, you're a Mii character and you go through a map and you basically collect fighters, and then you have one big battle at the end to basically win. But that's pretty forgettable. I mean, I've played it a couple of times and I found it basically a snooze fest for sure. But otherwise, if you've got friends in the house or friends online, you will have an absolute blast playing this game, because it is a really fun game to play. That is Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U. Coming in at second place now is The Evil Within, which I played on the Xbox 360. Now, The Evil Within, which is also known as Psycho Break in Japan, is a survival horror game which was developed by Tango Gameworks, and it was directed by Resident Evil legend Shinji Mikami, who was the director for Resident Evil 4. Now, I've heard about this game being in development for quite some time now, but I completely avoided any trailers or any sort of video footage of the game completely before it came out, because I wanted to be completely sort of surprised with when I actually get the game. I wanted it to be a completely fresh experience, and that indeed it was. I couldn't believe how different it was to what my expectations were, but in a good way. I was expecting it to be sort of a lot more like the old school Resident Evil games, but it in a way it sort of is a bit like that, because it's survival horror and it's basically ammo is not that plentiful on the game. You really have to scurry around and you have to look out for the strong enemies, and you can't basically just go in there with like a shotgun and blast everything to pieces like you would on like a shooter game. Now, the game is also really supernatural, which is another thing I wasn't expecting, but also it works out really well actually, especially with some of the enemies in the game, such as the Keepers, which is definitely my favourite enemy on the game, and I'm sure it's probably quite a lot of you people out there who have played the game's favourite enemy. It really does keep you on your toes, this game. On a first playthrough, when you don't know what's happening or anything, there's stuff that trips you up. Like, you'll see a reflection, or you'll see something walk past the door, and you'll be like, "What the hell was that?" It's sort of like it is crazy stuff, especially pretty early on in the game when you're in the hospital area. And you've got these invisible enemies, and the game is really designed well, because you've got all this stuff all over the floor. You're in the hospital, you've got like wheelchairs and stuff everywhere, and then you'll just see the wheelchair like move out of the way on its own, and you're like, right, there's a creature about to come at me and I don't even know where it is. It is really good. So yeah, I'm quite a big fan of the survival horror genre in video games, and this is, I would definitely say, one of the best out there. It's definitely the best horror game I've played since I would say the GameCube remake of Resident Evil 1. So yeah, if you're a fan of horror games or the original Resident Evils, definitely pick this up. I would like to maybe pick it up again when I eventually get either a PS4 or an Xbox One. That's right, coming in at first place and beating the rest is Bayonetta 2. Now, I know I've said I've been a fan of some of the game series that have been on this list, but that doesn't come to anywhere close to how much of a fan I am of the Bayonetta series. I really do love this type of action-style gameplay, and I really do love the story and the characters from the Bayonetta universe. Now, before I cover too much on Bayonetta 2, I'm quite a big fan and follower of game developer Hideki Kamiya, who is the story writer and game supervisor for Bayonetta 2. But he has directed some really fantastic games such as Resident Evil 2, Beautiful Joe, the first Devil May Cry, and the first Bayonetta. So his resume is very impressive. So going back to around the time before the first Bayonetta game came out, when I heard that he was involved and he was directing the game, I was like, well, this sounds like it's going to be a fantastic game, because I'm a really big fan also of Devil May Cry games. The first Devil May Cry game is my favourite out of all of them. And I'm not talking about the rotten reboot DMC. So yeah, when I got the first Bayonetta game, I was literally blown away by how fantastic and flawless the game engine and combat style is of the game, as well as a really likeable story. And I've played that game endless amount of times. Now, obviously, coming around to Bayonetta 2, at first I was a little bit cautious because I was thinking, the first Bayonetta game is like a masterpiece. How can you honestly top that? And the fact that Hideki Kamiya, he's not the director for Bayonetta 2. I believe that is Yuzuki Hashimoto. Not sure if I pronounced that right again. But I can honestly say Bayonetta 2 does not disappoint in any way or form. So yeah, this is by far the game of the year. In fact, I'd actually go as far as it's saying it is one of my favourite games of all time now. Is by far the best reason to pick up a Wii U, which I know a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon when this was first announced as being an exclusive to the Wii U, but you got to remember that Nintendo was the one who funded for this game to even be made in the first place. No other company come forward for that. Now, I picked up the double pack for the Wii U, which comes with both the first Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. So if you've got you don't own the other systems and you want to play the first Bayonetta, you've got the option to get that on the Wii U too. Now, as well as the story mode on the game, you've also got a pretty cool online mode on the game where you compete against other people online. Basically, it's like little short matches where you have to fight certain enemies from a different stage, and whoever gets the most hits on those enemies becomes the winner, and that is a way that you can earn halos, which is the in-game currency. Now, I didn't know what to think about that when I first heard about that, but it actually comes off really well, and it's actually quite an addictive little game, and it's a good way to rank up big Halo points so you can spend in the game shop, because there is a lot of stuff to buy in the game. For example, I've clocked over 50 hours on the game, and I've not even bought half of what's in the shop. And yeah, that is Bayonetta 2. As I said a bit earlier in this video, I don't want to talk too much about it, otherwise I'll end up going on ages, and this will be a really long video. I mean, it's turning out pretty long as it is, so I do apologise for that. But yeah, Bayonetta 2, not only one of the best games of this year, but one of the best games out there. Don't be fooled by these people saying that it's overrated, because it's been getting literally 10 out of 10 scores. It is by no means overrated. It is an absolute fantastic game. I have cleared every difficulty on the game, and the last difficulty on the mode, which is Infinite Climax, by God, that took quite a lot of attempts to clear that mode. It is very challenging. And that is my list, guys. I hope you enjoyed my top 6 games of 2014. If you've got any recommendations for some games that you've played that you didn't see on this list, then I'd love to hear from you. It gives me an idea of maybe a game that I should hunt out and pick up. But I'm not a big fan of shooters. In fact, I can't stand FPS games, so don't go recommending me like a Call of Duty game, because there's no way in hell I'm going to play that. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys subscribing to me. If you like this video, then I would also really appreciate a thumbs up. Thank you guys for making my channel achieve the success that it has in the year that I've had it up in 2014. And stay tuned for 2015, as I have a load of new content ready to upload. It's going to be some exciting times. So take care, guys. You enjoy the rest of 2014, and this probably will be my last video for 2014. I'm thinking, yeah. So yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next video.